Hello, ciao. My name is Ursula Cebulko, and I just wanted to send out a little greeting to all of us who are going to be joining together in this amazing Italian experience on July 6th. So I'm sitting here, it's New Year's Eve, during the day, not at night. So don't have my glass of champagne, but I was just kind of reflecting on, the year that has just passed and the year that's coming. And I'm just so grateful that we're able to do these experiences again, to travel. And I'm just grateful to Awakta that they gave approval and that we get to work with an amazing company like Georgia Hardy and Melina, who's going to provide for us just an amazing, amazing experience. And I just wanted to touch base with everyone, and I love the personal touch, so get ready for the videos, and just to reach out to everyone, because we started this experience so early. This is the earliest we've ever experienced this. In the past, we've run trips to Italy, Greece, and Turkey, and the time frame is usually a lot shorter, but we started earlier because we wanted to get a great price on all the travel expenses, and also to see if there was an interest whether we should be moving forward. So there was definitely an interest, and we definitely did get a great price. And here we are on the threshold of 2023, where we're going to engage together in this amazing Italian experience. So to those of you who are not taking the course, welcome to this experience as well. You are free to obviously not participate in any of the course activities, but what I found in the past is that people gravitated towards our gatherings as a course as well. So I just want to let you know that you're more than welcome while we're in Italy to join in the conversations that we're going to have in the debriefing. As a course, those who are registering for the course, I'm going to give some information at the end of this video, and we're going to gather virtually prior to departure through the course. And I just wanted to let you know too that when we do have our Zoom gatherings for the course, if you're traveling with someone in your household and they wanted to participate in that conversation as well, they're more than welcome to join in on the Zoom as well. This is a learning experience, and I find that the gift of doing something like this is the commonality with everyone that is traveling. So we're either a Catholic teacher or we know someone who's a Catholic teacher, and somewhere in our lives, faith is an important piece of who we are. Whether our faith is strong or whether our faith has kind of waned, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Our faith journeys are always changing, and we're not, going to be judged for where we are in our faith journey. We're all here to grow and learn and to join in this amazing experience to grow in knowledge, in experience, through travel, and through hopefully some ways something will touch us in our faith life as well. So during this Christmas season, I'm sure some of you tuned in to the Mass in the Vatican, and it was different looking at it this year, knowing that we're going to be there in July. And on a sad note, Pope Benedict passed away, and this today actually, and his funeral mass will be on Thursday. So a celebration of his life and all his contributions to the church will be celebrated by Pope Francis. It's a very unusual point in church history. It has been 600 years since a pope has resigned, and that this is the first time in 600 years that an election for another pope is not going to follow the death of a pope, and that the current pope is celebrating the life of Pope Benedict. And it's an interesting contrast in church history too, because Pope Benedict really does represent more of the conservative nature of our church, and Pope Francis represents the more liberal agenda of our church. And it's just such an interesting, fusion of who we are as church coming together this Thursday to celebrate, through these two amazing men who led this church. And it's not an easy job. And we'll talk about that as well, that, despite all the criticism of the church, we have to understand what church is. and how it works and the commitment and sacrifice that goes into keeping us going as a Catholic faith so many thousand years later. So here we are in the Christmas season, a lot happening. Liturgically, we are in the 12 days of Christmas. Christmas technically ends on the baptism of our Lord. A lot of people end on the Epiphany, which makes it the 12 days. But this year, the baptism of our Lord is celebrated actually on a Monday, not a Sunday, because of Christmas falling on a Sunday, kind of changes things around. But nonetheless, that's going to follow the Epiphany on Sunday. Baptism of our Lord is going to be on the Monday. We're going to move into ordinary time at that point. And when we meet each other in Italy, we will have gone through about half of the liturgical cycle. We're going to go through ordinary time, into Lent, into Easter, back into ordinary time. So when we gather, we're going to be in ordinary time. The big events of the church will have taken place, but we're going to be physically in the big events of the church when we go to Assisi, when we go to the monastery in the Benedictine monastery, when we go on our way to Sorrento. And, of course, Rome is filled with so many big events, and we are going to it's going to be amazing to learn together. So if you are not in the course, you can check out now with my blessings for a wonderful start to 2023. And if you're in the course, keep on watching, because I've got some course information for you right now. So if you're taking the course, you're going to be registering with OECTA. Okay, so OECTA is going to open registration for this course the same time it opens up registration for all its summer courses. So there will be a separate registration for the Italy course. You can take only part 1 or part 2 or part 3. You can't do all 3 together. Please note that if you're taking part 2 or part 3, there is a form that needs to be filled. Okay, you're going to find this on the website, and if you can't find it, contact me. I'll send it to you. Okay, and this form is going to be signed by your supervisory officer or your superintendent. So make sure they fill out either the part 2 or part 3, depending what course you're taking. If you're part 1, you don't need to fill this out. Okay, and you have to register with OECTA and pay OECTA the course fee for the actual course. Okay, so the deposit and the monies you've already spent on this has been for the trip through Georgia Hardy. We are going to start the course in May. So traditionally in the past, prior to online courses, when I used to run this course, we used to get together over, first of all, it was 2 full weekends, Friday after school to Sunday at dinner, and we used to gather from all over Ontario and get some of the coursework done, and then I would leave the group with some work. But now with the gift of online learning, we don't have to come physically together, we can come online together. So the month of May is going to be dedicated to doing a lot of the work that we need to accomplish in the course prior to departure. OECTA has revised its courses, so starting last summer we have the new revised courses. So I taught part 2 in the summer, part 3 in the fall, and I'm supposed to teach part 1 now in the spring course. That's going to be starting up soon. And then I will have done all 3 parts. And so what I do as the course instructor for all 3 parts in Italy is kind of bring the courses together, have the separate experience of what is in all 3 different curriculums, but find the commonality and bring it together for us as a group. So while I'm going to be teaching the part 1, I'm going to be basically creating the Italy course experience and trying to figure out what percentage of the course we're going to do together online in May, and then how we're going to fulfill the rest of the course hours in Italy through being together in this experience without having to do the heavy coursework, right? So while we're in Italy, I just want it to be a little bit lighter, do some reflection, maybe some journaling. I'm going to figure out how we're going to do it this time through the online process as well, so that we don't have to carry too many things with us, okay? So that's a work in progress. One thing I did forget about this form here, if you are going to take part 2, you have to have taught 194 days of successful teaching, and if you're part 3, it has to be 388 days. Okay, so make sure you've got the days under your belt, and when you get the signature there. So I almost forgot about that. Okay, and I think that is pretty much the nuts and bolts that you need to know now. So I'm really looking forward to working with you guys on this. Make sure that you do sign up for the Italy course, okay? Don't sign up for the regular courses. It's really important because it's going to be streamlined. It's going to be more directed towards our experience in Italy. So you really don't want to finish the course ahead of time and then come to Italy and then, you know, I mean, a lot of commonality, but you want to be part of this learning group together, part of the Italy religious ed courses. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, sign up for the one that is the one for you, and you will be engaged in the separate curriculums for part 1, part 2, part 3, but together I'm going to bring it together in a commonality between the 3 parts. Okay, so I'm going to run at least 4 Zoom live sessions for our group in May. I'm going to try to find a day that works for all of us and a time that's best suited for us. I can't force anyone to come to a Zoom, but it would be really nice if you could make it to that, because then we're going to start to really connect and get to know each other. And if you attend a Zoom, it's less written work. So the Zoom actually takes the place of posting assignments as well, right? And then if May's really busy for you and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't finish all the work that I need to in May, don't worry about it. You can extend into June. But the course will technically run the month of May with extensions. Like I've got right now, we finished early December, the part 3, and I've got 3 people still working on it through the Christmas break because they had things happening. It set them behind, and so they asked for an extension, and so they're working on the course to finish up now during the Christmas break, right? So life is, you know, always changing. There's always stuff happening. We're all going to try to figure out how to do this, right? But just know that this is really an amazing way to learn. Just from past experience, I've had people that have gone with me 3 times. People have completed like 2 parts with me and then traveled still with me in this course, right? So, so it has been really powerful, and thank you for being part of this. And just, you know, it's I give as much as I can of myself to make this amazing, but what you guys give back just really will put this into a whole different dimension of experience when we come together and we share our passion and our challenges for faith, because faith is not easy, especially as Catholic educators. We have a personal and a professional faith life, and that's a real challenge to be strong in both. Okay, so I'm looking forward to learning with you guys. God bless. Happy New Year, and get ready. We are, where I wrote it down here, we're 187 days away from meeting at the airport. God bless. Happy New Year. We'll see you soon.